All right, what's going on, guys? Masters Week, my favorite week of the year every single time. It's the best major, the best venue. We love Augusta National, love turning that TV on and seeing what's going on at the Masters. But this is a big year. Of course, the Live guys are playing. There's 18 guys from Live, and a lot of them past champions. But there's some big names at the top as you go through fantasy preview here. Subscribe if you do like this content. Hope you guys enjoy it. But I do want to start with big time, the favorite, Scotty Scheffler, 11,100 on DFS. I think you can't go wrong with him. I think the chance of him getting back to back are so good. Having won the Players, he has the form. Having won, just less than a month ago there at the Players Championship. But then, of course, his game matches up so well when you think of his stats. The putting is so good. The driving around this course, approach shots, all the things you need, especially approach, are there for Scotty Scheffler. So Scotty is a good pick, even at the favorite. You've got to go with him. Jon Rahm is somebody I really love at this golf course. He's at 10,800 on DFS for this week at Augusta. He's got 4 top 10s in his career at the Masters, never finished outside the top 27. And he said to the press, even this week, he said that this is the golf course that you can play a lot of different styles around here. This is the kind of course where different approach shots, different drives, you can really be creative. And he's a very creative player, very much a field player. Think about how dominant he was at the beginning of this year. It's just so easy to forget that. He got 3 wins in 5 starts. One's the first 2 events of the calendar year, right? Tournament champions against a strong field. And then the American Express, his very next start, 2 weeks later, he's just on fire. He wins Riviera, which was one of the biggest fields. It felt like a major, right? Takes down a red hot Max Homa. So I think there's just so much that goes into that. He loses a little bit of steam just because, okay, he didn't play great. Well, he had to withdraw from the Players, and then he got bounced out of his group there in Austin. So it's like, what have you done for me lately? This is such a thing with golf that you're not going to get Jon Rahm, where he should be. I think he should be the favorite, honestly, the number 1 favorite. 10,800. It would mean so much to him to join his fellow Spaniards as a Masters champion, put on a green jacket. What a player he is. I mean, tip-top iron player, great putter, especially under pressure. And I think that will be a huge factor this week at Augusta National. I think he's a guy that once he gets towards the lead, he can really lock in and stay in it. So look out for Jon Rahm. He's a good player. Collin Morikawa, I'm going to go down the list down to Collin Morikawa at 9,100 on DFS. I think is really one of the best bets you could make. Okay, I understand that his first 2 Masters weren't the best. Top 50 off the bat, then a top 30 after that. But last year, something changed. He finished 5th. It was his best finish. And he said this week to the media that at first he was just a little bit scared of the course. He was very reverent. He was trying to incorporate and hit draws. It's not his normal shot shape. It's normally left to right, is cut. And finally, last year, the reason why he was able to finish top 5 is he said, I'm just going to play my game. I'm going to play my cut and just go with that. And that worked so well. And I think when you see him, I remember actually in 2020, his first Masters, I remember him standing on the 10th tee, looking back towards the property, jaw wide open, trying to soak it all in. Just he's a shy guy, and he was very just reverent, I guess, of the course. And I get that. You're going to feel that way, jaw dropping as a rookie. But he's found a way to really man up and find his game on this golf course. So I think that's a big deal that he was able to finish top 5 last year at the Masters. And then recently, if you look at recent play, tie for 13th at the Players Championship. So you've got good form coming in to this Masters. You think approach shots, that's right up his alley. Shots gained, tee to green. He's a good driver of the ball as well. So this is a big course, I think, for Collin Morikawa. Look out for Collin. Another player, if you look down, Xander Schauffele at 9,000. I think Xander is one of the best picks you can make this week. And the reason why I say that, at his level at 9,000, the reason why I say that, tied for second in 2019. Of course, he was very close. He had a chance if he would have birdied 17, would have birdied 18. That might have been enough to get into a playoff with Tiger. And so he knew what that pressure felt like in 2019. That was only his second Masters. or 2 years later in 2021, he gets into the final group. And I know we didn't win that year, and I know we put in the water on 16, but final group experience, I think, is so important at Augusta National, right? All eyes on you, and having been through that before, as he was when he lost to Hideki in 2021. I think that's very important for a player like Xander Schauffele. He's played really well recently too, which contributes to him as a good pick. Tied for fifth in Austin. He got bounced by Rory in late play there. Was it the quarterfinal? And that was a really good match. So his game has been on recently. He tends to be a pretty consistent ball striker, and you need to have good approach shots at Augusta National. So that's Xander Schauffele. Another player I really like this week, Tony Finau, 8,900. I think he is one of a real solid picks you could make this week. And why I say that is at 8,900, he's got 3 top 10s and 5 starts at Augusta National. So he knows the course from the get-go. Actually tied, he had a 10th place off the bat in 2018. Remember when he had the ankle injury? So he really seems comfortable around this course. Seems like a course that fits his game. He did play in the final group in 2019. He got that Sunday pressure, playing with Tiger, playing with Molinari. I think that would really help him. If he gets under pressure and gets late into things on the weekend, I think you just cannot replace that kind of experience. Since his win in November in Houston, in 8 worldwide starts, he has top 25s in all 8 of those starts, including let's see, at the Farmers he tied for 9, but he was in that final Sunday group with Jon Rahm, a good friend of his, right? One of his best friends on tour, he told me. So think about that kind of pressure. He's been through the ringer recently. He's been through the tough on a difficult golf course like at Farmers Insurance at Torrey Pines. So I would look out for what Tony could bring to the table this week. I like his game. I like his short game, the soft touch around the greens, field player. I think this is a really good fit for Tony Finau's game. And then you got Will Zalatoris. If you look down the list, get down to 8,200. Next on the list at 8,200, Will Zalatoris, second and tied for 6th in 2 starts at Augusta National. How do you like those kind of performances, right? It's just from the get-go, from the word go, he was just dialed in to this golf course. Such a good iron player. He said on No Laying Up podcast a couple months ago that he knows in his head, as a competitor, he shows up to Augusta, he's going to have more 15-foot putts the entire week than anybody else. The way his shots gained approach is, the way his iron play is, how crisp of an iron player he is. It's just a fact. He knows he's going to have more 15-footers than anybody else. He likes his lag putting. I know there's a lot of knock on his short putting, but his lag putting, he feels like is up there, some of the best on tour. And you're going to have a lot of those at Augusta. You're going to have to be able to lag it from 25, 30 feet on a lot of these holes to keep things going. So what will Zalatoris do? I know he didn't play well in Austin. He was ill, but he had a couple losses there. Didn't play great there. When you look, though, at his iron play, his numbers with kind of mid irons, and as you get into kind of longer approaches, which you're going to see on 13 this week, on 15, the par 5s, he is a top 5 player from 175 to 200 on the PGA Tour with iron approach shots. And then 200 to 225, he's 4th on the PGA Tour. So that range, how about that? 175 to 225. He is in elite company on the PGA Tour, and I think that is huge to be able to score around Augusta National and some of the longer par 4s. You think of number 5, that is huge for him to have a good week, I think, at Augusta National. So look out for Will Zalatoris. All right, Justin Rose at 7,800. I am a big fan of Justin Rose at Augusta National. Why do I say that? Pressure. He's been through the pressure of Augusta National on a Saturday, on a Sunday. He's done so much around this place. Final group in 2017 with Sergio Garcia. He felt the pressure. He was in a playoff, right? Just right there with his buddy Sergio. Final group in 2015 with Jordan Spieth on Sunday. And I know Spieth ended up winning by a few shots, but still, Rose went through all of the things that come with the final group, and he knows what that pressure feels like. Even on a Saturday in 2021, recently, a couple years ago, he was in the final group on Saturday, Will Zalatoris. I think all of that is so important. That's a recent play, right? At least when it comes to Augusta. So you got to factor all of that into what Rose can bring to the table. 8 top 15s at Augusta National, 2 second place finishes. I think this is a course that fits him so well. He's such a good iron player. He's really found his putter in the last 3 years. And I think this is a dangerous week. I think it's the most valuable pick you could make at 7,800 when it comes to DFS, Justin Rose. I would go and say that he's definitely the most valuable for sure. Tiger Woods at 7,300. You can't go wrong with him at Augusta National. I know. Can he walk the 72? Yes, that's what it comes down to. Such a crisp iron player. He knows the greens, chipping around these surfaces. He's so comfortable. Tiger Woods at 7,300. I don't have a problem with that at all. I think you got to factor him in to a DFS lineup. So Tiger, can he get it done? Big time killer instinct. What, 41 top 10s in majors in his career. 15 of those are wins. When you really think about, we talk about Max Homa and how it's like, oh, he never finishes second, never finishes third. Well, Tiger, that's a pretty good conversion rate among top 10s to have that many wins. We know Augusta, 5 of them came at Augusta National. So keep an eye out on what Tiger can do. Of course, everyone's going to be watching what Tiger Woods does this week. Seamus Power at 6,800, I think, is one of the best value picks you could make this week. And why do I say that? He's played Augusta National 1 time. From the word go, he fell in love with the place. Tied for 27th, top 30 there off the bat. You know what he did from there? He got himself into a late tee time PGA Championship and finished T9 just the next month. He was able to springboard that and find some good confidence. And he really part of the mix, a good part of that final round there, Southern Hills. And then beyond that, he gets to a T12 at the US Open in Boston. So he was really able to find something at Augusta and spring on forward from there. I like what he brings to the table short game around this golf course. He's 19th in putting, shots gained putting on the PGA Tour this year, top 20 putter. You have to have confidence around the greens. You've got to be able to close on a place like this. And he brings a very solid putting stroke to the table to Augusta National. And then the other thing, shots gained around the green. You've got to be able to keep things going. His chipping is so solid. He's at 32nd in shots gained around the green this year on the PGA Tour. Seamus Power loves this golf course, and I think you would do really well to pick him. I think one of the best values you get at 6,800 this week. All right, Kevin Na, 6,500. I think it's so easy to overlook him. He's one of the best value picks this week. Why do I say that? Well, he's a short player. We know that. But what has he done in his last 3 Masters, 3 starts at Augusta National? Well, top 14s in all 3 of them. You know how hard that is to do with the length on this golf course. And they're even lengthening 13. There's just so much they've done to make it hard on shorter hitters. He has found a way to plot around there, work on a short game, his chipping and putting. He's been able to convert. And I think you really have to take a serious look at what Kevin Na can do for your lineup at 6,500. That is really solid value for a week like this at Augusta National. So keep an eye out on Kevin Na. And that is what we have for now. Hope you guys enjoyed the preview, and we'll catch up again soon. Subscribe if you do like the content, and enjoy the Masters, guys.